Ladies and gentlemen, you have waited all week.
Yeah, Boogie Page. Throwing it down for All Things BMX is ready. I know I am. Attack the ATB Airways. Let's kick it. All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX is streaming to you. So post up on your couch, screencast to YouTube. It's gonna be fun, it will be a blast. You gotta do much but kick back and relax. They coming to you live from a studio, or they might be at the track, man, you never know. So don't go anywhere when my rhymes are done, cause the show's just starting, let's have some fun. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX got the boogeyman's back, so I wrote them this track to send some love back. JT, Melissa, Chris, and Paul, DJ Damon, kinda get it, entertain y'all. And I wonder who gon' have on the show as a guest. I bet someone good who's gonna impress. Guess I will just have to wait and see. Let's get the show going and start the party. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like, subscribe, kick back and relax.
Well, it has been a very interesting opening to this entire show so far, and I want to welcome everyone in. Dave, Melissa, thank you guys. Everyone that's watching, thank you guys for sticking around. We had a little gremlin pop up. We have some sound issues. Got them worked out. Chris, when we get to birthdays, you're going to have to call me, okay? Because I got Dave on the phone. That's how we had to work it out. So everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. We're talking, it's season 4, ladies and gentlemen. We're still hanging out. We're still doing them. It's episode 143, and we're talking about Income the Big Bombs. We have Bombshell Dave on the show this evening. I want to thank him for hanging out and waiting a half hour before we could finally get the show going. And a big shout out to the Charlotte BMX Bomb Squad team. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. It's always a fun time hanging out with you guys. And Melissa is joining us via the satellite feed from Zoom. On her side, it's actually working. She's on a TV over here, but you guys can see that. Her audio is working. I got Dave's working on a phone over here. Why, Chris, you're going to have to call in. And it's brought to you by Danger Snacks, all right? Then Danger Snack is the snack that's it's the difference between dragging ass and hauling ass. I'm going to tell you right now. You pop one of these bad boys when you're in staging, you're going to be hauling ass, all right? Our opening song is brought to you by the Boogeyman. Go download his stuff. Go listen to it on whatever you kids listen to music on now. I just go to YouTube. I think Spotify is where the cool kids hang out these days. But the link's in the chat. And all the other stuff, there you go. Melissa's brought to you by Desoto BMX. You're welcome. Let's just jump into this show. Our chat question for the night, though, because I like to get it spicy in the chat room, like the Danger Snacks. What did you guys think of the Virginia track last weekend? Other than it was probably cold in Virginia. It wasn't here in Florida. Probably was where Melissa's studio is. Where Dave is, probably still kind of relatively warm in California. But tell us what you guys thought of the Virginia track. If you raced there, let us know. Put it in the chat. I got the screen in front of me. I want to hear what you guys thought about it. Dave, welcome into the show. Melissa, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Dave, and Melissa, thank you. I appreciate your patience so much. It's live.
Easy peasy.
It's live. What can we say?
You made it work.
We do. That's yep. I didn't have to take a microphone though and hold it. I didn't have to take one of the other mics and hold it to the phone yet. So we're doing good. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, man. Let's jump in this because we had a great conversation a little earlier today. I mean, it's always a fun time when you're on, bro. It's hours and hours of just talking about BMX. So I'm always excited to have you on. But I'll tell you what, and give us a breakdown of 2022. Like how was it for you? I know you were on a couple times, but give us a rundown.
It's been a challenging year. It's ended well. There's some changes going on, but all in all, for the majority of it, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Nice. So. All right. So what were a couple of the highlights you had in 2022?
All the new products coming out. I mean, we did well. Emilio Fala, he did well. I think he wound up 4th in the Bet Pro class.
Mm-hmm.
Alita was in the top 15 in the women's pro class. I was proud of the whole team. We got some kids that did very well, got quite a few nag plates. So I'm very proud of the team in general. The shop, we've been going through some changes, doing some different things, and going back to the old school of just the family.
Mm-hmm.
Not worrying about points, not worrying about team sheets, not worrying about any of that stuff. It's just the family coming back and treating everyone as family and going forward. We tried some stuff that was different, and I didn't like a lot of it. So we're just going back the old school way, and I brought all the team back in-house. I control everything here within the factory with help of some others. So it's been a good time. It's been a good time.
Good. Any before we future plans? We'll get into 2023 this year, but future plans that you had hashed out in 2022, you're looking forward to this year?
No, there's a lot of changes. And I don't want to go into great detail a lot of that stuff. We got a new site for getting swag gear from Bombshell. We're not controlling that in-house anymore. It's more of a web-based page, and it's more items in it, and I think you have the link to that.
Is that the Squad Locker?
Yes, the Squad Locker.
Yeah. I got we'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, and it just takes a lot of that inventory that kind of goes to the waste a lot, and brings it back, and people can go get their swag gear, and we get a percentage of those sales. So, and I don't have to worry about the inventory of all that, and they can have more variety of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
And just FYI, guys, go check out the Squad Locker. You guys have a ton of stuff. It's Under Armour, so it's not. It's tough. It's good. It's legit. Yeah, definitely. I was checking it out earlier today. It's very, very nice stuff. You've got the performance tees in there, women's shirts, and you got the hoodies, shorts.
Oh, there's so much.
And hats. Which, by the way, Dave, very nice hat that you have on this evening, sir.
Yeah, thanks to Nick. You got one of the matches, so it's.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. You guys go buy some stuff off there, right? Just go buy off Squad Locker. Was it? Did you set that up, or did somebody at the shop set that up for you guys?
Lynn set all that up.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just curious if it. I mean, it looks great, and I was just curious how hard it was to set that up. So, 2023, man, what's new? What's going to happen?
There's a lot of plans, and some of the stuff is very early on that I don't want to go into a whole lot. I'm sure everyone knows that the Bay Area BMXers, they're on board with us. They run all of our components on their frames. We're working together on a lot of that stuff. And stuff in the future for them too. That's one of the biggest things right now. Some of the other stuff I don't really want to go into right yet because it's a little early on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm truly excited, to get through this next year. This is the start of year 3 of me being the owner.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things are start pushing our way. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
We got some big things, Friday. That'll tell more of what the future holds.
All right.
And which direction we're going. And man, you got some old pictures of me out there.
I grabbed everything, and Lynn sent me a bunch, and they're in there too. But I went back to the shows you'd been on before, and I literally threw them all in there.
You just had a picture of my dad
Yeah.
on a giant enduro at one of the river crossings. And, my dad passed away quite a few years ago, and it's tear jerking to see some of those pictures. You guys kind of set me up on that one, didn't you?
You actually, believe it or not,
unintentionally,
100%. You sent them to me for the first show we did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We that was the because we got really in the first show, we got into your military background and your motocross.
Right.
That was the first show. But taking that, like, how was Grands this year for you? Because it just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Right.
It does. And, we didn't have anything to sell there. I had the 2023 displays. Those were a huge hit. You had the red, white, and blue American bike showcased in the Tulsa turn. It was different. It was definitely different for me. I got a little bit more time to talk to people and sit down and really chat. And it was good. It was good. There's the Tulsa turn with the red, white, and blue bike, the American flag bike. And I want to continue that patriotic theme that I have going. There's always something. There's been a lot of chat of, hey, when are you going to do a military line and stuff like this? And to do an Orca with that is very hard. It's we have 9 sizes right now. We're soon to have 12 sizes in the Orca. And once you start doing 8, 9 colors of that stuff, that's a lot of bikes. It's
a lot of work, man. Who picks the colorways? Is that something you keep your hands in, or is it just you let your
one? We throw out a bunch of colors. I think this year where there was 18 colors to choose from, and we changed some stuff. We repositioned some stuff. But yeah, I do a lot of that. I have a guy that designs it and comes up with a few different designs at first, and then I go in and start telling, hey, I want these colors and this color, and put things together. The one right behind me, the white and red, I've heard that from a few different people to do that color, and it's a huge success, and I love it. There's some issues right now with availability and getting them in. I got a bunch of frames sitting in customs right now. Been there for about 4 weeks, so some issues, but we'll get through it. We have big plans for the future here.
So a lot of people, and it took me a minute when a year or 2 years ago when we first met, that like you also you got Orca, that's the carbon fiber line. But you also have aluminum frames too. I
got 2 lines. I got the 943, the Avent 943, which is the Steven Caesar line. For everyone that remember Steven back in the day. And then we have the new Vipers, which I love them. They're a great beginner bike. The frames are really, really unique and nice. They have removable dropouts and stuff, and there's theories about different things at times, and I haven't pursued that of changing the angle of the bikes, or maybe putting in a OS 20 fork on it and changing the dropout so you can drop it so it accommodates that and keeps the geometry all the same. So that's future builds of that frame that we haven't really explored yet, or even making a dropout for it for a disc and whatnot. So there's a lot of different things we can do with that, and we're working on a lot of that stuff.
Look, as many SKUs as you have, it's amazing to think like I mean, I help with what I help with, and like, holy moly, does that take? Just that part takes time, and what you're doing, like, a tip of the cap to you, man. Like, we appreciate what you're doing, because you've got components.
You
Go
deal
ahead.
with the carbon rims,
Huh?
correct?
What's that?
You do carbon rims, so just put this in perspective. We got 2 different sew-ups. We got a mini, a junior, expert 28, 36, pro light 28, pro light 36, pro 28, pro 36. That's 10 rims.
Yeah.
In 8 colors.
Yeah. Right.
And that's just 20s. That's not going into cruisers. That's not going into all the aluminums. When I first moved into this building, I kept telling everyone my biggest fear is rims. Trying to organize that. How's the best way to do that? How's everything to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had some talks to some people, and we have everything from frames to the complete bike. When it rolls out of my shop, everything on that thing is mine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to just throwing things out there like Answer or Box or anyone for any different parts.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% Bombshell bike.
Yeah. And with that many parts, that's impressive. That how you stay on top of it, and how your crew out there stays on top of it, and you're constantly, coming up with, like, well, even just the colorways, like the new colorways and all this stuff. Like, it's impressive. Now, like, you're the Orcas. This is just a question of mine. Are those gonna, in any chance, those are gonna come in cruiser sizes anytime?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
I have pro cruisers.
Right.
I have.
I'm gonna start saving.
Cruiser.
I'm gonna start saving my change.
Hey, you got a birthday coming up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They don't have deposits on cans or bottles here in Florida. So I was sitting here, like, saving them when I first come down here, Dave, and then I'm like, wait, everyone just chucks them away. So,
well, if you bring them back to Michigan has a barcode. They don't work.
I know.
You get money for it.
Unless, ladies and gentlemen, here's a pro tip. You only can hack late at night at Myers. Okay, are you ready? You can go to Myers late at night. You got to do this late at night. I have to emphasize on this, is when there's not that many employees. You can run them bitches through and grab them and put them back through. And it'll air out, but after the third air, it just starts taking anything you run through there. You're welcome.
I'm sure Tamra thanks you.
And that's how Justin's going to pay for an Orca frame.
That's nice. Can we talk about your commercial, Dave?
Sure.
This new commercial of yours. Where'd the brainchild come from that? How did that all come about?
The
animation and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long process. I really had a lot of work on the first commercial. The second commercial was more Lynn. And, when we first started doing it, we didn't have the greatest pictures for it. So we kind of emphasized and put the TV in there. And I was like, why don't we have the TV screen there majority of the time so it looks like it's old school?
Yeah.
So there's a combination of everything that we did with that. And I was really happy with the end result of it. It's different. I want to be different. I don't want a cookie cutter, type of thing. And I like being different.
That's great.
So you like it?
How long was the process? Like, from start to finish? Are we talking months, years?
No, I think we threw it all together in like a month. It was pretty quick. It was really quick. The first commercial took a little longer because I had a guy that did the animation and all that good stuff at it, and that took a while.
Yeah.
Getting the bomb drop and the jet to fly through and stuff like that. So that took a little bit, but you know, I still have that one and I want to update it because I wasn't 100% happy with the after of it, and I wanted more of the first of it. But both of them are great things that we can expand on and move forward with, and you know, have some play with it. Have some play with it. So, yeah, there's more to come. There's more to come.
Always.
The animated one, what I thought was really cool, like nobody was doing, or I don't think anyone is even now, it was doing anything like that. So, you know, sitting there for 15 hours watching nationals, like your commercial definitely jumped out. Like it would. Like yours, and because I like to give credit where credit's due. DK, they had theirs was kind of unique, but after watching for 15 hours, I pretty much could repeat them in my head. So I don't think, and if anyone has the other commercial, not the animated one, they want to send it to me. Like send it to me so I can get it up on the show before we wrap up tonight. What nationals are you planning on this year? I mean, I'm gonna see you here in Florida, but what other ones are you gonna be going to?
Well, Phoenix, definitely. I want to go up to, God, I don't even have my list in front of me. You caught me back, blindsided.
Just make it up. It's fine.
Yeah. Reno, obviously. The City of Industry one here in California, I'm really excited about that one. Just because it's close to the warehouse, it's close to the factory. And I'm inviting the team out a little bit early so they can actually take a tour here. Most of them haven't been here outside of California, you know, and if anyone out there, if they want to come out a day or two early and come say hi, we're like 45 minutes away from it, you know, so I'm excited about that one. God, there's a whole list of them. I think there's 12 that I wanted to go to.
Wow.
And I can't tell you all of them off the top of my head. It's been one of those days, obviously. We started 30 minutes.
We're all relating to that.
Look, we just got the sound to work, Dave. We understand.
Well, hey, we got the sound to work through the phone.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Hopefully everyone's phone's charged.
Yeah, mine's sitting on the inductive charger. That's how it's going to work.
Okay, plugged in. All right, good job, gentlemen.
Melissa, are you ready for the check-in?
Yeah, I would love to.
All right, take it away.
All right, well, welcome to the show, guys. And as Justin said, thank you so much for your patience. You know, these things happen. It's as we say, it's live. So we appreciate everyone continuing to tune in. We got Mr. Brian Fell with Mega Design over on YouTube. Thank you. Sean Gifford with Dye Job Apparel tuning in on Facebook. I see Rick Carter of the Beer Budget BMX podcast show. He's over on Facebook. Team Rockford Rippers, they're tuning in on Facebook. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you tuning in. Mr. Robert Cardoza is over on YouTube. I'm sure you're going to see him at any Arizona National there might be. He says, say hi to Dave for me. Mike Soto put in his usual BWH. If you know, you know. Thanks for tuning in. Don Mulvihill is giving a big shout out to Bombshell Dave for everything that you've done for my family, especially Sammy, and for the Liberty BMX team. That's pretty cool. Sounds like Rick wasn't too impressed with the Virginia track. Mr. Scott Sloan says Dave is a great guy. Chris Beer tuning in. He enjoys the mint green orca. Says that one's rad. Damon Tucson, DJ Damon with us. Hello, family, he says. David Blower says, hi, guys. What's up, people? Skyway Nick in the house. Nick DeSanti's tuning in over on Facebook.
Homie Nick.
Bill Johnson's with us. He says, hello, BMX family. I also see Mr. L. Roybal over on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. He says, hoorah, Marine Corps. Who am I missing? Oh, Binky Deniston is over on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. He says, hola. Mo Collins, him and Roxanne are checking in. He wants me to mention that she's still working on the pictures from Virginia. So stay tuned for that. I saw her post pre-work that she was working, and there were just a million tiny little boxes. It was intimidating. And last for this round, we want to say hi to our very own Roman Remington?
Roman Remington. Yeah.
What was it?
Roaming Remington.
Roaming Remington. Okay.
think.
Yeah, I should remember that. He says, what up? So thanks. If anybody's got any questions for Dave, don't hesitate to get them in the chat.
Yeah. Appreciate it. And big shout out to BMX Rock for sponsoring the check in, and thank you, Melissa.
Of course.
All right. I got a fun one for you, Dave.
What's up?
All right. What type? Okay, so this question came in on the hotline, but it's a different hotline. But like, what type of warranties, guarantees do you offer for your products?
So most of it's on, everyone wants weight limits and all that stuff, and I don't do a whole lot of that. I can talk more about that, but everything's manufacturer warranty. If it's a manufacturer defect, we can fix it. There's ways to tell. There's things that you can do. I just had someone message me, and they're like, "Hey, I was just doing downhill sprints, and my carbon rim exploded."
Doing downhill sprints.
Downhill sprints. And what that does is, and this is the main reason why everyone, at least we are, going to disc brakes, because I'm with the carbon rim. If you're doing downhill sprints, that's not normal for a BMX bike. So you put them pads on there and you do 30, 40 miles an hour and you come to a screeching halt, it heats up the carbon and it will explode because of the heat in there. So you got to be careful on that. And a lot of the pro riders that do that, I've always told them, hey, make sure you have a run out. Don't grab the brakes, feather them, take care of your rims. So that's a lot of things. Even recently we had some of Emilio's frames break, but it was in crashes, and that's part of it. But if there's a manufacturer defect where, obviously, things happen, manufacturing does things and things happen. We cover everything. But be honest with me. Don't tell me, I was just riding my bike and my 5-year-old son was just riding his bike and the fork broke. Well, were you sitting on it in the staging area at 200 pounds? So there's different things. Be honest with me. The more honest you are with me, I'll be honest with you and I'll take care of you.
Right.
So, but when it comes to rider weight limit, we're talking BMX. Are you doing a triple? Did you 50-50 it? If the white rider weight limit is 65 pounds and you triple or you do a double and you 50-50 it, that downward force of that rider that's 50 pounds, it goes up there to 150, 200 pounds, depending on how bad it is. So there's going to be failures in everything. Be honest with what you did and, we'll take care of you. So, I like it. But yeah, everything has a manufacturer warranty. I think it's a year for manufacturers that they'll, take care of it.
So you've been doing this 3 years now as an owner.
Yep.
I know you have one of those moments and one of those stories where you were like, wow, this one is really expensive, or I clicked the wrong box and I bought way too many of the wrong sizes, or whatever. What is like one of the ones now here's the best part. You could look back now and say, I was like, meh, yeah, it's kind of funny now, but in the moment might not have. Like, what do you have one of those moments, one of those stories?
Dude, I got a lot of those stories.
I feel like anyone that thinks they're going to try to get into the sport is going to have so many, but please share one or two.
I will share this one with you. So we came out with the colored brake cables, and they're a thinner brake cable.
Okay.
Better weight. We had 6 colors we ordered. They never got shipped. They got lost in shipping. So what do? We reorder them. They weren't nicely packaged like the other ones because we're in a hurry for them. And lo and behold, both orders showed up at the same day.
Oh my God.
I got like 15,000 brake cables.
Oh my God. Oh.
And instead of 6 colors, we got, I think, 9 colors.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
That day that they showed up, and, I'm like, what do we do? What do we do?
Right. But, and what did you do?
We ate it. We kept it.
Did you? Okay.
We, had to pay for 2 sets of brake cables instead of 1.
You didn't change colors for a couple of years, probably.
Well, I mean, the good thing is the 2 orders were slightly different colored.
Oh God.
So
okay.
One was like a dark blue and one's a light blue. And so instead of 6 colors, I think we have 9 off the top of my head. I think there's 9 colors.
Okay.
So they're not, I mean, obviously the blacks were duplicated and, but white and teal and dark blue and pink and orange, white, red. I don't know. I'm missing a couple on there. But yeah, it's, but you just grin and bear it and go through. So, but that's one of the cheaper ones.
After the show's done, I got a fun story for you. Okay, so in your tenure, like, what do you think is one of the, maybe it's a product or a service or whatever that you think is like, hey, since you've taken over the company, it's now like way better than it was? I mean, do you have one that,
I'm not, I mean, I was involved in the company before I took it over. I worked for Yuri Holick for 6-7 years, since 2015.
Okay.
So a lot of things that we were doing within the company, I had a say in, and I did a lot, and I helped a lot to make the company where it is. Going back on it now, there's some stuff that we're working on right now to get back to where it was then, because my biggest miss is being the owner of the company. I can't get away from the office as much as I want to. I'm stuck here in the seat. I'm stuck here. I miss the families out there. I miss the riders out there. I miss, and it comes into rider support. It comes into customer service. If I'm not out there and I don't have a me out there to do what I used to do, that customer service is a little bit less than what it used to be. Because I used to hit a lot of nationals. I mean, I drove around a lot. Anything Texas West, I was at pretty much. And that included Gold Cups and state qualifiers. And, I went up to Vegas quite a bit for their state qualifiers and over to Arizona for their state. So that's what I miss. And that's kind of been a lot of talk in the office lately, is who am I going to get to do that? Who do I want to do that? Amelia Fowla came to mind for a little bit, but he's got a family and he's still really, going for that title. So going for that title and having kids that he's training, he's not able to sit in that seat in the pits and really talk to the customers and fix the bikes and do them little tweaks that I've become very well known for. We're in Vegas and I had, I think, 3 bikes that I put disc brakes on now, for the Orcas. Did them all in the back corner of upstairs in Vegas, you know, and people are like, "You're doing what?" Yeah, I'm making it happen. You know, so
Which
it's
I can vouch for, man. When Melissa and I were there, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you, like, it was hard pressed to find you because you were building bikes, you were working on
Yeah.
bikes, and you're, you know, kissing babies and shaking hands, and you were doing. And I'm going to tell you, man, I'm very, very impressed, man. Like, you do a lot, but you know what, man, you give a lot back. Just so people know, I want to make sure you get yours because you've been a long time supporter of what we're doing here, and thank you.
Yeah. You know, and I know there's a lot of people out there. Oh, Dave never answers his phone. I have 4 phone numbers on 2 phones, and dude, they're ringing off the hook. And I've missed so many phone calls just being on here. People trying to get a hold of me, and it's times like this.
Can we call them? Like, you want to call somebody right now? On like, no, okay, all right.
I mean, I'm still answering text messages, and I'm still doing all that because it's only 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Emilio took all the kids and went to the track tonight, and then I'm gonna hopefully beat them home and start dinner for everyone. And Emilio's gonna come over for dinner.
We know better than that. We know the after chat with Dave.
Yeah, after chat with Dave may go short tonight.
For those that don't know, I'm going to share this real quick story with everyone, Dave, if it's okay with you. I went to bed one night, and I'm in Michigan, and again, Dave's 3 hours behind me over in California. But I go to bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning in Michigan, and I go to bed, and Melissa gets up for work at like 5:15 in the morning. She gets up, the alarm goes off, and I wake up. And I look at my phone, and it says, active Zoom call. And I click on it, and Dave and like a whole bunch of other people, we call it the after chat, but they're still in there talking BMX. It was amazing. I was like, holy moly.
Guys, I got to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best part. Like the after talk and all the stories, and we try to hit them as best we can on the show, but some of them you can't, you know.
You know, it's funny because right now I have, you know, obviously everyone knows now that Big D and Little D, they're my roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Best room. I'm gonna tell it again. They're the best roommates. You know, he's here maybe a month out of the year.
I was gonna say, is it because they're never there? Like, that's a pretty good roommate.
Yes. Little D's rooms kind of farmed out quite often to different people. I got Christian from Ecuador here right now with me, and then you guys never met Yi. She's from Ecuador. She runs the 1720 class. She got into a little conflict with the Ecuadorian Federation over there, and she reached out to Emilio, and Emilio said, "Hey, what does it take for her to come out here?" And we worked a deal, and she's actually staying with me. Emilio's got Gustavo from he rides for Bill Bassett. He lives with him, and then Valentina Davlos also lives with him. So we have quite a few riders that come out here and stay with us. How long they stay with us, I don't know. I think last I heard was Christian staying out here for 3 months. Yi is she's a wonder. She may be here 6 months. She may be here a year. I don't know. It all depends on what she wants. She's 18 and, you know, away from home for the first time. So it's quite interesting, and it's a funny story for me and my son. She speaks no English, and we no Spanish.
How
Do a lot of texting back and forth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you guys using Google Translate? Or are you texting? Like, how's this working?
So, literally, I just text her a message and it translates automatically. So we just text a lot.
Okay. All right.
But we have our own, food. You hungry? And she's coming around. We're coming around. I'm starting to learn a little Spanish. And it's funny because one day we're sitting here and I'm like, siesta time. She's like, ooh, she gets all excited. So it's been fun with that stuff.
You want a pro tip with an iPhone? I can tell you one right now.
What's that?
I can give you a pro tip on an iPhone.
Okay.
Is one of your 300 or 900 phones that you have an iPhone?
Yes, they're all iPhones.
All right. So you can take an iPhone, and if you have AirPods, put your AirPods in, set your iPhone down, and you can put a setting. So go to settings and hit the setting, go to settings, and it will instantly translate for you.
Really?
Yeah.
And
that's your tech trick for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another thing, just on the other side of the story. You can set that phone in another room and listen in your AirPods.
Got it, dude. So when was it that I was last on?
I was trying to think of that. Melissa, you're muted. You've muted yourself and you're in.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I know you were chiming in on the AirPod thing.
Yeah, I just said good to know.
You were on. I got to go into my Google Drive.
I can pull it up.
Yeah.
It was August 17th.
Was it?
Yep.
Yes,
August
it was.
17th is my daughter's birthday.
You're right, because you also had the wedding.
Yeah. No, I had just had the wedding.
You're right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. So since then, David is 100% with me.
Congratulations.
And I think that was after the show. But okay, going back to the last show, you guys were giving me a hard time because my daughter was getting married, right? My daughter called in while I was on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just texted her, hey, I'll call you right back. As soon as I got off the show, I called her.
Yep.
It was her birthday, and
I remember this story.
You remember this, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're just talking, and I was like, hey, by the way, why were the 50 questions about David surgeries and his health? And she goes, oh, well, yeah, I forgot about that, Grandpa. She is pregnant. I am going to be a grandfather. Is due March.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's amazing.
March
How
5th.
wonderful.
So
yeah.
Here's my next question. Are we going to have an Orca push bike?
So
Sounds mandatory to me.
It does.
yeah, so
That thing better have some carbon rims on it, some carbon handlebars.
So I think it was, must have been right after New Year's. My daughter had a baby shower, and I went to it. Which today's baby showers, males are invited to it.
Yep.
What?
Yeah,
Well, you participate in baby making, so why not?
yeah. I guess. I mean, she invited me. I was like, yeah, as your father, yeah, I'm going to be there. But I showed up and we were late because David's flight was late, and David flew in from Texas to Arizona. And then I picked him up at the airport, and so his flight was delayed, and we showed up a little late to it. And I walked in and I was like, holy cow, half the room's males at a baby shower. Okay. But it was a good time. Me and her husband have talked a lot. He was very into motorcycles. He's got motorcycles now. So we've been helping with that a lot. Talking about the Strider rocking turned into bicycle. We've been talking a lot about that. So I don't know. She is having a boy. So that will be good. And he's going to get spoiled. We all know that.
Oh, 100%.
He may have a carbon Strider with carbon rims and maybe even some carbon mags.
Ooh, I like that idea.
I'd be disappointed if he didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some things that, are out there. You know, I have a year to do, because at 18 months he's going to be riding.
Sounds about right.
Does he now?
Yeah.
Question: does he have a license already?
A license?
Yeah, the racing license.
Like a
USA
USA.
BMX. Sorry, USA BMX license. Not yet. Okay.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
He's not born yet.
Like I said, does he have a license? I mean, when I found out I had a daughter, I was like, first thing, how do I fill this out?
Right?
Because the Soch is optional, right? Okay, fine. I got her name.
Yeah,
Let's roll. I was like holding the
Cute.
license up against her mom's tummy, like, there it is. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's roll. Yeah.
No, you know, my son we've had our ups and downs these last 6 months. Obviously, me being the full-time dad now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm no longer the Hollywood dad and, you know, the vacation dad. But he's come a long ways in a short time. You know, he wound up, and I sit there and laugh at him all the time. So in Vegas, he went, he got motoed on Friday.
He's in a tough class, real tough
Oh
class.
no.
Like he's
Yeah.
in a real tough class though.
But he got motoed, and
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you can't be doing that. So then Saturday comes around and he wins semis and he gets third in the race.
Congrats.
Wow.
Sunday too, and I was like, moto third. So I've kind of taken my factory dad off, and I'm like, dude, it's you, whatever you want.
That's nice. That's good.
As long as you're giving me effort, you know. And that was really relevant the last month, you know, where he's turned it on and said, you know what, Dad's right. You know, I painted him a picture of, hey, if you don't give effort here, you don't give effort in school, you don't get effort in a business, you don't give effort in anything. So you got to work what you believe in. And the only way you're going to be successful is work until there's no quit. There's no, I can't, I don't know how. You just do it. You know, so it's been fun for the family, the business, the whole 9 yards, because now he's coming up with ideas of different things, and some people are like, wow, who came up with that? My son.
Oh, nice.
So he's really, you know, obviously you see the 3D printer in the back of me.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, he likes playing with that a lot. I mean, we did keychains. He made keychains for like a year. You know, just little Bombshell keychains, and I don't know where any are. They're out in the other office, but you know, it's just it's exciting watching him get excited about things, and you know, playing around with things and saying, Dad, what if you got to try? If you fail, it's okay.
Right.
You know, and move forward. So it's been really interesting the last 6 months with him living full time with me, and seeing where he's flourished to. You know, he had a really bad grands. He second round in class, he crashed with another kid, and he was pretty banged up. We pulled him, didn't let him race again, and got home, and he wound up dislocating 3 ribs in his back.
That'll do it.
Back,
That's painful.
back. So, you know, talked to many of doctors. We had a chiropractor, and then some stuff has come up where we can't go back. That's personal stuff, you know. Mom, thank you. But you know, it's been good. It's been really good.
Good.
And
Good.
you know, it's good for the future. He's a freshman. He's doing well. He struggled in the first semester. You know, but as I told the counselor, you know, I am not going to force feed him. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to hold his hand. I'm going to help him if he asks, but he has to learn on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He has to figure it out. He has to do it. He missed a lot of school the first semester due to, you know, first time with dad, and mom jumping on the phone with things and upsetting them. And, you know, there's a struggle. There's a time that I didn't know if it was going to work. But we just stay strong together. It's just like anything, you know, it's why I own this business. I stayed strong and I stayed headstrong and I went for the goals. And so, yeah.
I got a question totally out of BMX. Are you ready?
Yep.
What do you guys do? Like you and the boy when it's not BMX? Like you go bowling, you go paintballing. Like what do you guys do? Like what is it?
What is not BMX? I mean, that's all the kid wants to do is ride BMX.
Well, good on you.
Yeah. So here's my weekly schedule for the most part. You know, Monday is practice at Paris Grand Prix BMX, Mike Redmond. Tuesday is gym time for him. We have a pretty good gym at the house. So that's gym time for him and homework and kind of catch up on everything. Wednesday back at the track. Thursday is kind of his time for gym. Friday, it's a toss. Whether we go to San Diego BMX or we just go chill. And, you know, he's got RC cars. He's got the airsoft rifles and guns and, you know, it's kind of his choice. Saturday, we're back at the track.
Did you say guns?
Yeah.
Because
I don't guns. I know I'm military. I know I'm a Marine. I have a different outlook on things. I don't need a gun. But yeah, he likes the airsoft guns. I mean, he's got the AR. He's got an M16. He's got a grenade launcher.
Is he into those gel things yet? The ones that do they're not airsoft. They shoot the little gel things out of them yet? Is he into those?
No, I mean, he has them and he goes in the backyard and he shoots everything up in the backyard. And I'm waiting for the neighbors to say, "You broke my window." I find those little balls.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got ones with tracer rounds. He's got all this other stuff. He's got the full masks.
Corby's, thank you.
Yeah, and it's just watching him, you know. And so Saturday we're at the track, and Sunday I try to do whatever we want. And most of the time we wind up at a pump track, you know, doing something on a BMX or, you know, a dirt jumper or something. He's doing something, but it's literally our life is BMX and bikes, and here at the office.
I mean, you know, Melissa probably could say the same. Like, I mean, it's here's what we do. But I actually you brought up the pump track stuff, the dirt jumpers. Like, are you still gonna grow that line? Like, are you still gonna do that, or is it just kind of like whatever?
You know, it's kind of, and that's a couple of the meetings that we have in the next couple of weeks. Where are we going to go with it? What do we want to do with it? I like it. I think it's the wrong time for the company.
Okay.
You know, if I could get everything in stock, I have so many frames, but I don't have forks. And, you know, so there's just different things that cause the issue we have right now. And we'll get through it. Okay. You know, we'll keep going. I would like to, you know, in the future, expand on it. You know, the 26er, I consider it a small frame or an extra small frame. I would like to go to a bigger one, get more of the large, extra large. Yeah. For different riders, you know, the 24, the 20, I think are pretty good. There's a few changes I want to make to them. I don't think it's the right time to do a lot of that stuff. I mean, if you take the company and you broaden it so much, then you're just okay at everything. Oops. And I don't want to decrease any of the value right now. You know, I want to concentrate on what we do good is the BMX. And then as I stay here a little bit longer, and I can put a little nest egg in. Then we can expand on some more stuff.
That's fair. No,
It's
it's respectable. So I want to hit you with a hard question.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, so I have to give you a little background on this question first, like, because you're obviously aware of like the pump track racing, right?
Yeah.
Because that stuff is like it's blowing up.
Yeah.
Do you see, like the pump track stuff, like doing, surpassing, our traditional racing is BMX?
I don't see it surpassing.
You don't? Okay.
Look, a lot of the kids live right here. We have 2 great tracks right now. One in Temecula, one in Menifee.
Mm-hmm.
The one got a nice pump track and the dirt jumps in it. And some of the kids have been in my office, and I don't want to drop names because after they left my office, they couldn't do it because of sponsorships. But they really wanted the Orca frame to do the pump track races. They didn't want the forks. They didn't want everything else. They wanted that Orca frame because they saw it at the pump track. They, a lot of the kids around here have them.
Dave, I just want to stop you for a moment. I don't know who wouldn't want one of those frames.
Yeah, but it's just because there's so much stuff, and I had one of the top guys riding it, did some testing with it, and there's a lot of stuff out there about our low bottom bracket, this, that, and the other, and it needs to change. But that's what makes the bike unique. Do you have to straighten the bike up before you pedal? Yes. It changes your riding a little bit, but talking to some of the
what does that mean
around it,
what does that mean? Like you have to have the bike straight? What do you mean?
So because it's a low bottom bracket, it's a 10.5-inch bottom bracket. You put a 180 cranks on it, and literally you can just tilt the bike over and the pedal will hit.
Okay.
And flats or whatnot, it makes it worse because then it's a little bit wider. So while you're in the turn, the pedal will clip the ground if you have the bike leaned over and you're trying to pedal.
We're talking on the pump track stuff, right?
Even on the BMX race.
Okay. So like what you're saying is because your bottom bracket on an Orca sits this low. If you're running long crank arms, it'll clip. That's what we're saying, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
But the reason why we do that is for the reaction out of the gate. It's got a better reaction out of the gate, and it hugs the corner tighter, and you can drive a lot harder into the corner because you have the lower center of gravity.
How does it hug? And look, I've done BMX so long, but like I am the last guy to get into like gear ratios. Like people make fun of me about it. I'm like, I just go pedal my bike, bro. But like,
and that's a lot of it.
But no, in my best, one of my best friends, I tell him all the time, like, Mike, just change my shit and I'll go race it. And him and I are hockey players from way back in the day, so we just understand each other, and he does. But like when you say like the lower bottom bracket hug to the corner better, like how does it? Because I'm asking, and I'm being 100% genuine, like I'm ignorant. I don't understand how does a lower bottom bracket hug the corner tighter?
So now you drop the center of gravity. So instead of your center of gravity being
is that because your hips are lower?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
So as you go into the corner, when Emilio first got on the bike, we were out at the track, and he was like 3 feet to 4 feet lower on the turn, carving it that much harder. And I kept saying, it's not going to hold. It's not going to hold. He's going to wash. But it held. It held, and it held, and it held.
Okay.
And he was at the first turn in Grand Prix, he was almost on the white line, and it held. Okay. So that helps a lot, but you can't grab that pedal right out of the corner because you will clip a pedal and it'll throw you over high side. And that's a give and take on 2 different things, and it's just different riders. Some riders like it, some don't. I have one guy, Aquaman. I'm sure people know the Aquaman out there, an old AA pro rider for Eric Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
He does not like the low bottom bracket, so we put him on OS 20s.
Okay.
And so we just put an OS 20 wheel on Orca, and he loves it. He loves it. So it changes a little bit, but you know, it's Eric Simmons 6'1", and my son's 5'8". My son rides a triple XL, and Eric Simmons rides a double XL. You know, and it's just rider. And this has been a lot of conversations over the last 2 years that I've been doing this.
Oh no, it's. I mean, yes, it has. Yes, it has.
You know, you go into gear ratios and this and crank arms and everything, and I will give you. I have a fight for everyone's theory. You know, and even my own theories, I can throw it a different way. And I tell all my customers that call me, hey, I'm going to give you every option. And I'm going to tell you, you know, all the different theories, but everyone is different. You could have two identical twins and the bikes are not set up the same. You can't just look at a kid and say, okay, these are your heights and this is everything else. This is what you need to be on. It's not that simple.
So, not trying to shit on anybody, but like there's a term, Q factor.
Yes.
So like what you're saying, if I heard you right, so, like you have a Q factor, but you're saying that sometimes that's not legit.
Well, I mean, the Q factor, here's where, you know, I need a 108 bottom bracket because I need to suck them in. Well, what does the frame allow?
Say that again, because I that just sounded like German to me.
Yeah. So a 108 bottom bracket, because we're talking the small kids is what this matters with.
Right.
Millimeter bottom bracket all the way. I mean, I think we have a 105, 108, 111, 115, 118.
Shit. All right.
Bottom brackets, and that's just how wide they are.
Right.
Well, it matters what size cranks you are, because do they have a swoop out or are they straight like ours? I know a 150 crank on an expert, you have to have a 118 bottom bracket for the crank to clear the rear triangle. So yes, you want to keep them as tight as possible.
Okay.
They're around it, you know, you can grind the crank off, you know, do all these other stuff to suck them in. And what does that do? It voids the warranty. It does a lot of different things because now you're modifying it. You know, but have I done it? Absolutely. I got a picture in here. I got answer cranks on my son's bike, and it's got 12 drill holes in it because I just took a drill to it and started drilling it because I was a weight weenie at the time. You know, and we've all done it. We've all been there, you know, but I took it was almost 2.5, almost 3 years that I worked with my son on a really spinny gear. I mean, when people say a low gear, I had him at like a 48 rollout.
Okay.
And I made him spin all year long, and I called him LPB. I made fun of him, and I was that factory dad that just rode my kid. LPB was last place Bergquist. He was last everywhere he went. Because I had him on a spinny gear. I wanted to make him a spinner. After that, that was almost a whole year I did that for him. And then right after that, we went to run in the California gear, you know, the 4818, the 4919s, 5019s. Yeah. And a really hard gear, you know, so it was like a 57 rollout. And he got used to that. And then he's like, Dad, it's just hard. And that's when I really taught him bike setup. And I think he was like 9, 10 years old at the time. And I really taught him bike setup. This, you know, went through the whole process of here's a spinny gear, here's a hard gear. So now today, I don't even know what his bike is. He does it himself. You know, he turns 15 on Monday. And Dad, I need 5 pounds of air in my tire. Why do you need 5 pounds? Because I need that little extra gear. You know, my son knows that, hey, 5 pounds of air is almost like 0.2 decimal gear. Because as you put more air in the tire, it expands and it changes your rollout. So he'll go play with his tire pressure, and then he'll come to me and talk to me about, you know, gearing, or, you know, what he wants to do, what does he need. And this worked a lot with Alita too, when she was with us. You know, we came out with, she was on the 1.5 tires just like David was, and it was a 39-14, 42-15, and a 44-16 are the 3 gears that we ran, and it was almost less than a point difference on different track setups. So I spent a lot of time with my son teaching him what's the difference and the bar length and this and feel. So I know I've heard him talking to some of the pro riders and some of the older riders and explaining things to him, and they were just like, oof, I don't understand. You just blew my mind. And that's the good thing I love about my son, and what he knows and how he does things. And he sees me modifying stuff every day, and he watches me and he's like, Dad, how do you know to do that? And I was like, well, I just do it. Just do it. You know, we started with the carbon rims or the disc brakes, and I ruined too, because I was trying to grind off the backside of the caliper to fit in with the spokes with the 120 mil disc, and I kept hitting oil. You know? Not a good time to hit oil. And I had one that worked for 3 weeks before it was weak enough and it popped it out, because there's pressure in there. So I'm working on a new mount to make that happen, to be able to run a 120. Right now I can only run a 140 because of the way the mounts are and everything in the frame and stuff. So I want to shrink that down. And I mean, I have one somewhere here that's an 80 mil disc that I would love to try to get out at one point. But I got to redo a whole caliper, and I think I have to make my own caliper to do it. Cool. So, but that's in the near future.
And that was Factory Dad Time, brought to you by Bombshell Racing Systems, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I kind of blew your mind on a lot of that stuff.
Dude, I have set myself to, like, I want to learn as much as I can about not just rollout gears, but like everything you were talking about, like the brakes and all that stuff. Because, like, I do have a question for you before I move off this joke. Like, wow. First of all, wow. Hope everyone can digest that, and if you didn't, you get to listen to the replay later. But my question to you would be, there's a lot of focus, though. Like, we put a lot of focus on the kids, right? Mm-hmm. And you were just saying, like, you know, like your boy, he's digested it and he learned it and he can now share it. But this is me, I'm going to ask this to you. Okay. Cause we have classes that are growing massively on two end of the age spectrums, right? The old guys where I am and your kid. Okay.
Yep.
So as a, business owner, what do you feel would be like one of the things you would tell, I don't know, I'm just going to pick 40, like a 40-year-old guy, like what is it that guy could do, that woman, guy or woman could do to, help. And I want to preface this question with this, like, I want it to be like this. They don't understand rollout gear. They don't get Q factor. Like, what is it? What's the one thing that you would share in your infinite knowledge to tell that, like, racer, like, hey, this is one thing you could do that might help you?
Well, and so that's kind of what I did with, and I'll expand on that a little bit. So last year and this year, I had some riders come to me and say, hey, I want to ride your bike. And I said, before we even do anything, ride it. Because if you don't like the way it's set up, then we don't have to talk anymore. And that's a big thing for me, is are you comfortable on the bike? If you're 40 years old and you're just coming into BMX, you know nothing about it, ask people at the track. If they're on an Nika or an Avon and, you know, they don't say, hey, take it for a spin, let me know the name and number and I'll call them. Because that's one thing I tell all my riders is, hey, we're here to help people. You know, if someone can say, hey, can I just ride it down the street? Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I mean, I've taken my son and put him on the side and had someone ride his bike all through practice. You got to ride the bikes. You know, everyone knows, I mean, there's 300 manufacturers out there in frames, and there's all kinds of different frames. All of them are different a little bit. What are you comfortable with? You know, because the Orca is a low bottom bracket. There's this, there's that. There's so many different options out there that you have to be, and that's the first and foremost. If you believe in it, you feel comfortable, that's the bike for you. You know, it's not about anything else. Yeah, I want everyone to ride our stuff, but first and foremost, and I talk on the phone a lot, and people ask me, well, what do you think for this? I put it back on them and I tell them all the different options and then let them make the decisions. And because then they'll never come back to me and say, well, you told me that a 145 crank would help. And now no, try it. You know, I have people call all the time saying, hey, I want, what do you suggest? I want an expert. I need to put him up on the next bike. And I asked them, what size cranks are you on now? And if they tell me 140s, hey, let's go to 145s, test it. If, you know, he's going to go to that eventually, you have the 140s to put on it until he's ready to go. Oh, okay. So, you know, there's different things there that I try to help people with, you know, because it's an expensive sport, and I appreciate everyone coming to me, the questions, and I'll just be real with them, you know. And that takes time, you know, and I was at Bakersfield National one year. This was probably 8 years ago. And we're sitting there and I'm closing the trailer up at the end of the night. It was, I don't know, 10 o'clock, supposed to meet everyone at dinner. I had this guy show up. He's like, hey, do you have any brakes? I got this bike in the car and I need brakes. And he pulls it out. And I'm like, yeah, I got a few minutes. He pulls it out. And he goes, what are you guys doing here, flea market? And I'm like, no, it's a national BMX race. And he had this bike, and I worked on it for an hour. And the guy has bought 8 Orcas from me since. And he thought we were just a flea market, and he wanted some brake set up. You know, that's how I reach the customers, and that's what I do for everyone is I tell them the truth. You know, do I believe in the renting decimal gears? Yes, I do. I think it works. Do I go out and buy them for different reasons? No, I play with tire pressure. You know, go up, down with tire pressure, and it changes different things.
Yeah.
So that's how I change the decimal gears for me. Does that work for everyone? No. But, you know, that's what works for me. But I have other riders that they'll go from a 40 to a 40.2. And in their mind, that made all the difference. They went from not making it to winning, you know, and that's all that really counts. Is as long as you believe in yourself and as long as you believe in what you're doing, it doesn't matter what you're on. It really doesn't, you know, and that's probably not right for me to say, but it's the honest answer for me, you know.
That's right.
Orca, or even a Viper, I don't care.
Fair enough.
But what are you comfortable on?
If someone's going to ask me that question right now, I got a couple mongooses, bro. That's what I roll. But
hey,
it's what?
As long as you're happy and you're enjoying it.
I don't overthink it. I just don't. But I mean, don't get me wrong. We hung out in Vegas and I rode yours and I'm like, yeah. And that, and the geometry's dope. It's amazing. just for the record. And like, as an older, like, here's the thing, like, you know, in your 40s and 50s, we typically don't like the steep here, the steep steer tube and that lower bottom bracket. We don't, because that's not what we grew up on. But like when I rode, I grabbed Nick's bike, Elite Pro Nick Dawson, shout out. Thanks for your hat. I rode his bike around and I was like, wow, like this is really nice. It is. So like, I don't want to be the guy, but I am the guy that's going to yell, get off my lawn. And wherever and whatever you've done with that frame, it's a healthy balance between like
new school and old school.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. Because that again, the head tube is not so crazy in. And everything else just it works. Yeah, and you've done a great job. You have. I was just sorry. Melissa's on this screen. Dave's on this screen. There was just tons of funny things in the chat. Is there enough for a quick check-in, Melissa, or should I jump into the lightning round? Yeah,
probably lightning.
All right, let's do that. Dave, I think
30 minutes because we're 30 minutes late, right?
We are 30 minutes late. Yeah.
So we're going to go 30 minutes past, right?
Dave, there is no time limit on this shit show. I mean, just so you know, there's none. And you have to understand, Friday night, Beer Budget show, they had Mike Miranda on their show. So you got some big shoes to fill, okay? So let's roll. All right, here we go. We're going to do lightning round, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say a big thank you. And Dave, now you have a relationship with this company. Are you aware of this? Lynn is.
Yeah.
Lightning Round is brought to you by BrandedPopups.com. The mission at BrandedPopups.com is to provide a fan, any fan, it doesn't matter, or a brand supporter with the opportunity to purchase their favorite branded pop-up style canopy. So, if you guys are like, I really like Bombshell, buy their canopy. Go buy it.
Yep.
Dude, by the way, your design is really nice.
You like it?
No, Ed, no, I love it. Just for the record, like, it's really okay. Just so everyone understands, this isn't like, okay, Brian sponsors the show. Yes, he does, but Brian does an amazing work. So like, cheesy plug, whatever, hit him up. You got jerseys, you got hats. He's a full market company, but like your canopies, and Pump. Chad, he's an announcer down here in Florida. Wow. That's just
so. We did it a few years back with a couple different colors, and the reason why, because I was given a few options. I was like, look, do the opposites. So when you set up your pit, you rotate the tent, and it's a different look.
Yeah.
So that's the reasons why I did it. So if you buy 4 tents, you look at the front, and there's 4 different. It's white, black, white, black. And I look at those details quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very happy with that design tent that we came out with. Very proud of that. Even I don't have one yet. Yeah.
I don't have an ATV one yet either, so we're in the same boat, Dave. It's okay. You and me have matching hats. Melissa, you want to take the first question?
Absolutely. All right. First, right off your head, right? Top of your head. Last movie you liked so much you watched it twice.
The World's Fastest Indian.
Have to go Google that. Your favorite sports?
He was on a 1919 Indian motorcycle, and he set the land speed record at 105 miles an hour, or 205 miles an hour under 600 cc's, something like that, or 1,000 cc's. I don't know. I just watched the movie again last night.
Love it.
London's a damn good movie. Your favorite sports team?
Bombshell.
Okay.
No effing around. I like it. It's epic.
One sport that you would never try.
Ballet.
What sport never try?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's not much I haven't tried.
Gymnastics.
Done it.
Cheerleading.
Javelin.
Did it.
What's the thing you have?
High jump.
No, what's that thing with the stick and you run and you put it in the ground?
I tried that when I was in junior high.
Long
Jazz
jump.
band. Were you in jazz band?
No, I wasn't in band
Yeah,
at all.
fuck it.
All
I
right,
was.
there you go.
Don't ever do it. One place you'd love to travel to.
I'd like to go back to Australia.
I'd like to go there too. Do you know who Matt Jones is on the YouTube?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, follow him. Great YouTube content.
All right. What was the last thing you Googled?
Dude, I'm always Googling something. I mean,
This
last thing
makes
I
this question
Googled was-
awesome.
flights or Supercross tickets. I think the last thing I Googled.
For here in Florida?
No,
Oh,
A2.
okay.
Events.
All right. Where do you feel is the worst place on earth?
The worst place on earth.
It's not my hometown. You can't claim it because I claim that all the time.
Well, the worst place I've ever been is Djibouti, Africa. That was a pretty bad area.
Just for the record, Durand, Michigan, worst fucking place you're ever going to go to. Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, then the opposite. What was the best place on earth?
Not Durand.
You know, I've always been a fan of Tennessee.
It's
I really like it.
all right. Your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple.
Sorry, I was adding one. I feel like, well, I guess this is a little different. All right, your favorite sport other than BMX? Favorite sport?
Favorite sport? Motocross. Supercross.
If there's no BMX on the schedule, okay, what's the best way that you would waste a day?
Here at the office.
I have a tear. I mean, it's starting here,
aluminum or
Dave.
carbon?
With that?
Aluminum or carbon?
Carbon all day long.
Yeah. I mean, but your aluminum stuff though is no joke.
It is, but here's, and I'm not going to talk bad about anything. Carbon is very precise. Aluminum goes through heat treating. Everything gets streaked just a hair, off just a hair because you have hand welds and this, that, and the other. So when it comes to building a bike, the carbons are identical almost every one. There's very different varies.
It's a good
Where
point.
aluminum, everything varies just a hair. You know, whether you need an extra spacer here or this, or, you know, just to make it 100%. I mean, we're talking micromillimeters off, you know.
Right.
You can't see it from a naked eye, but it changes the different things. So that's why I'm 100% carbon.
That makes sense. That's good insight. Your favorite book? I got
Can't
one.
remember.
Hang on. Day One by Mike Miller, who's a BMXer. You're welcome, Mike. There's your plug.
Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I got a book back there that.
What is it? What's the book?
Well, it's a. Let me get it. A couple years ago, well, it was 2021. They made me this book, and it's got all everyone's signatures on it from all the team.
Hold it up a little higher because the overlay. Yeah, right there.
Oh, nice picture book.
Oh, I
Very
like it.
cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all the riders, and it's something that was put together for me, and I cherish that book. And it's, you know, I have a couple other books that were made for me like that I love. And I saw my mom the other day, or not the other day, but I don't know, maybe a year ago.
That's my other day too.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text message from my mom today, and she goes, "I haven't talked to you in a while." And I was like, "Yeah, when was the last time we talked?" Christmas. Okay. But the last time I saw her, she gave me a book, and her life story.
Your mom's?
My mom. My brother gave her this whole thing, and every day she had to write something.
Oh,
in it.
I've actually, Dave, I've actually saw that, where like they got to write a thing once a month or something, and they turn it into a book, right?
Yes.
I think that's awesome. And your mom did that?
My mom did that, and so it's a book of her life, and it's from her childhood all the way through, how she met my dad, and you know, all this other stuff, and it's kind of neat. It's really neat.
Did you get a copy?
I have a copy.
Did you learn a lot from it?
I did, and this is something I played around with for a while, because I've done so much in my life, between, you know, being a hog farmer and being racing motocross and racing all the different sports that I did in motorcycles throughout my years, and then the 20 plus years I did in the Marine Corps, and you know, now my venture in BMX. You know, I thought about doing that, and writing a book on it, because people ask me all the time, "Oh, have you ever," just like, what's the worst place I've been to, dude? What's worse, Iraq, Afghanistan,
Flint, Michigan? Flint, Michigan. You're welcome.
Well, I mean, I was stationed in Michigan. I was up at Selfridge Air National Guard Base.
So you were an hour and 45 minutes north of Flint.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I had to live. I lived in Flint for 9 years.
Well, Flint, Michigan had Brian Schwink grew up there.
No, Brian Schwink grew up in Fenton, which was south of Flint.
Wasn't it Saginaw?
Fenton.
Fenton.
He might have claimed Saginaw because it's a bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's like being like, "Hey man, I'm from Detroit." No, the fuck you're not. You're from Ecorse. Right. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
Well, then you have Jeff Curry and Dave Curry. The Curry brothers are up there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
John Kitch is up there in Michigan.
We know how to produce.
There's a lot of.
Yeah, we got riders.
So I used to go up there all the time, and I remember driving up there, and I don't remember what motocross track it was, but it was Easter weekend, and we stopped at this restaurant, and the only people that were there were the snowplows, and we're like, "Hey, can we get here?" And they're like, "No, we haven't been there yet." We pull in, and there's motorhomes in there, and they have trucks pushing the snow off the track, and we race motocross.
Was it Redbud?
No, it wasn't Redbud.
No,
it was up.
Was it in the middle of the state?
Dude, I was so young at the time, I don't remember.
All right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Before we turn it into motocross hour, we got more quick questions for you. Ready?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, because I'll talk motocross for the next 3 hours, man.
No, that's the after chat.
Yeah.
BMX.
All right. Go ahead, Melissa.
Sorry,
these are so. Favorite guilty pleasure.
Oh, I chew tobacco.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Baja Acres. What?
Yes.
You're welcome. Thank you, Zach. What talent do you wish you had?
I wish I could play the guitar.
So do I, because I would serenade Melissa like a boss. You're next, Melissa.
I was distracted by that. I was like,
I would play you Guns N' Roses.
Right. Okay. What is one thing that people... Anyways, what's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you, like a hidden talent?
He wants
I
to
don't
play
know.
the guitar.
I don't even know. I think everyone knows me pretty well anymore.
Yeah.
Open book.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, did you just put that question in there?
Yes, I
That's
was requested
an
to.
epic question. Your favorite Supercross rider, Dave? And I said Supercross, not motocross.
Current or past or
Current. It has to be
Current.
current. Definitely current.
I like the Lawrence brothers.
God, they're awesome. They are.
Yeah.
I like it. And how can you
Nope,
not like
nope.
that story? Okay,
Ah,
I'm
it's
done.
BMX,
I'm done.
not
I'm done. I'm
motocross.
done. I'm sorry.
Here's the other thing. I just spent the last weekend, the entire weekend the past 2 weekends in the Kawasaki pit.
Oh, well,
Hanging out.
those are
Oh,
first
that's
world
very cool.
privileges you have when you own a bike company. I got
Right.
I got one more question. Are you ready?
Yep.
Melissa?
Favorite Wednesday Night Live BMX show?
All Things BMX.
Attaboy.
Thank you.
Thank you for having that on the screen.
You notice how I don't I turn the slideshow off and then because
Yep. Yeah.
sometimes it might not be anyway. I think we might have one more question for you before we go to the Newsmaker segment, which the Newsmaker segment is brought to you by 110% Nutrition. If you guys are looking for the best supplements in the game, it's 110% Nutrition. Dave, can you get me passes for Tampa?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Okay, thank you. All right, here we go. We're going to go to Newsmaker. And the first thing we're going to talk about in Newsmaker, it's not going to be the Battle of the Bay. Sorry, guys. We're going to talk about the captain, a.k.a. Where's the captain at? Well, if you guys know, you already know because you've watched the show a few times. We document where the captain's going to be and what he's going to be doing. So if you guys know, you already know. But here it's going to happen. February 1st, he'll be in Goodyear BMX doing clinics. And the link will be in the chat. And it's also going to be in the show notes, too. So you can click on there and sign up for Nick Long's camps. And February 4th and 5th, he'll be in Duke City. All right? So sign up, man, if that's where you're at. Nick and Lindsay are going to be doing their stuff, and they're going to make you faster. Hold on. Here we go. Shit. I lost all the pictures, Melissa. All right.
Oh, babe.
I know. The next bit of news is it's coming in from here in Florida. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And we're going to have the Battle of the Bay. Very similar to the race I did the other week here in Florida, which was the Bang and Bars series. So four tracks, and we're going to be hanging out and racing them. This is going to be coming up in March. Second annual Battle of the Bay. Mark it down, put it in your calendar, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. It'll be a good time. We're going to go to Tampa, back to Triple Creek, Sarasota, and we're just going to, it's going to be a great time. So you guys don't want to miss out. The other bit of news that I can't put up on the screen, I'm sorry about this, you guys. No, that's Nick. I'm sorry. I wanted to put up there was the what I wanted to put up there was Mike Miller. He's doing a really cool thing over in Ukaipa. So we'll put the link in the chat. I thought I had a picture ready for this, but I didn't. I'm sorry. But Mike Miller's doing this really cool weekly video from Ukaipa BMX. And what he does is he kind of like break down like what's going on over there, and just he recaps it. It's a cool video, and the link will be in the chat. I really Dan, go watch it, because he's put a ton of time into it, and it's really good. It's super good. So this last week, he highlighted the 13 and under pump race that they had at the track, and you know, he's learning. Mike's like, I like what you do. I was like, it's fun when it's live. No, it's not. But I was like, yo, do your thing, and then we'll talk. And he's doing his thing. So he's bringing you guys a weekly update from Ukaipa, and it's, I don't know, he talks about everything. So check it out. It's there. Next week, guys.
I'm ready.
No, go ahead.
Don't you want to do trivia first, babe?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do next week?
Hang on.
I'm ready for either one. Whatever you flash up there.
It all got smudged, but
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Next week's guest, actually on February 8th, we are going to have the captain, Nick Long, as he returns to the ATV show for his Moto 2. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to hear all the updates and talk about grands, and it's going to be a great time.
We're probably going to talk about that duffel bag cash thing, right?
Well, of course. He's already got raffles and things like that going on now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Trivia time, right?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. There we go. I have to here. I'm still oh my god, I'm dealing with the audio thing still, just so you guys know.
Well, and we'll skip it. We're good.
No, we're fine. Go.
I'm ready.
Take it
I got
away,
the
Melissa.
sticker pack. I got the actually I think this might even be the last one in the prize vault. The Rad Dad
Mike Soto.
Bar. Yeah, if you're in the chat, hook me up. You're gonna get your own little package of danger snacks. Shout out to Brian Dorsey. He just sent a gigantic care package with like a million of these little things. So you're gonna see a lot of these going out here. And then in honor of Mr. Bergquist here, I got a Bombshell t-shirt. And that's all getting tied into your T-Bone backpack. So my daughter and I were away this last weekend, and we were hanging out with the family, playing some family games. So I was inspired for this trivia question. So I would like to know how many properties are on a traditional Monopoly board. How many properties are on a traditional Monopoly board? Depending on what Google says.
Well, I mean, you're the one that, I mean, your answer is answer.
Well, that is true. But I have Google verified it.
You verified it on Google?
I did.
Fair enough.
I always have a tendency to ask them like 3 or 4 different ways just to see if I come up with the same answer.
Can I see that shirt again? I didn't even.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, I like that one.
Teddy.
I like it.
That-
Did you do that one, Dave?
That was Yuri.
Oh, I like it. Oh, it's a cool shirt. I like it. We're going to go through the showcase segment. And showcase is brought to you by our good friends at Answer BMX. And what showcase is if you guys know or are anything that is promoting BMX, we want to showcase it. It's really that simple. First thing we're going to talk about is the Dirty Knobs podcast show, which this episode, just so you know, this episode has the All Things BMX commercial. So check it out. And this week's show, it's a banger. Just like every show. It's season 2, episode 3. David Cullen. It's going to be happening. It's going on. You guys go download it, listen to it, give it a like, give it a follow. All right. It's a good show. You got the next one, Melissa?
Yeah, they yesterday the Moms Talk BMX podcast just dropped a new episode, and they're talking about what to pack for local races.
Locals?
So give them a listen, because there's a lot of things you probably need and more things you don't need.
If I've been going to a local race, it's typically Miller Lite, my knee pads, and my helmet.
Sounds like a good list.
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. You and me, this Saturday.
Sunday, I hope.
No, it's Saturday.
We're going to be in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, but we're going to do a show. We're going to be on the show. We'll be on their show soon. So
cool. That's awesome.
If you guys haven't, subscribe to Mom's Talk BMX podcast show, because Melissa and I will be on there soon.
Congrats.
Yeah, no, thank you. For real. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think we've been on what? I think we've been on like one other show. Yeah, we've been on one other show. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited.
No, Justin.
You've been what?
It's not the first time you've been interviewed.
Here's the thing that upsets me about that interview, Dave.
You forgot to hit record.
It wasn't even record. The damn mute button was on. So Oldsmar, we're going to redo it, just so you know. Actually, I have like a wicked better setup now, because I have like these microphone, headphone things. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. It'll be a better one. So,
I got something before I forget.
No, go ahead.
110%, right?
Pardon me?
AJ from 110%.
Yeah, absolutely.
With them in Vegas.
They're great people.
And we discovered something really unique.
Is that taking their pina colada amino acids and then pouring vodka in it?
No. Oh. This was actually a race, and we're talking, he's like, I don't know, we're talking about histories and what we did and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He goes, oh, I'm an engineer. And I was like, oh, that's cool. My brother's an engineer. He just retired from John Deere. And he goes, really? He goes, what's your brother's name? And I said, Larry Bergquist. And he goes, no. He did his master's thesis quoting my brother on a lot of things.
No way.
And he knows my brother. He's like, dude, I talk to him quite often. He goes, he's a little nerd. And I'm like, really? I said, he said ride motocross. And he's like, really? He rides motocross? I was like, yeah. It's really good.
Just shows you how small the world of BMX is.
It really is.
Yeah,
so if you're into this, my brother says hi.
No, that's pretty awesome. And like yourself, Dave, they're big supporters of the show. And you remember the thing over the summer you jumped on with me? We did the Cool Kids Club over at that track in Lansing.
Yes.
Yeah. AJ and Dad jumped in too, and they were big supporters of it. And thank you both and everyone that was supporters of it, because we actually we did that and took there was 3 or 4 kids that came out of I don't know the politically correct term, but basically here's what it is. They came out of the hood and they're still racing. So, thanks for, it meant a lot. The jerseys that you sent, the pants, the race pants, and AJ and Gate 9 paid for all the tour forms that we had to pay for. So thank you guys. All right, back to the show.
Sorry.
No reason to. It's a live show. Look, we're already 30 minutes late. We're off the rails. We're having fun. Beer Budget BMX Show. And Friday night, they brought you the heat. They had none other than the Hall of Fame man himself, Hollywood Mike Mother effing Miranda, on the show. I tried. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to call in my best Randy Macho Man Savage voice, but Rick Carter would not take my call. So instead, I just continued laying trim. That is not an innuendo. I literally was putting trim down that night. And I listened to the show just like I hope you did, because it was an epic show. And Rick now has an autograph from Hollywood Mike Mirando in his studio. Good times, great times. Make sure you guys tune in each and every week. Sometimes it's Friday, sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday. Beer Budget BMX Show. It is better than nude wrestling at your local titty bar. Lane 8 podcast, Melissa.
Sorry, multitasking. New episode titled Patrick Koo, Success is Right Around the Corner. Tune in and listen to Todd Wilson as he interviews him.
It's good. It's good. It popped up after I was listening to the Rogan show. Just saying. Todd's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
It was just sometimes they're like 20 minutes and an hour. It's really good. All right. So last but not least, BMX in Our Blood. Coming up to the show again. We're going to get Joe Doherty back on the show, the host of BMX in Our Blood. How many hours are we going to go on that show, Melissa? What do you think? Over or under?
On what? Sorry.
When Joe's on the show.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Your pre-conversation the last time was very long.
4 hours.
I guess it depends on if you engage there.
No. It's pretty much like when Dave hangs out in the after chat. It just goes, on forever. BMX Blood, BMX in Our Blood podcast. It's hosted by super badass BMXer Joe Doherty. Make sure you guys check it out. Links in the podcast. It's not just racing. It's kind of like everything. So he talks about like freestyle, dirt jumping, hanging out at Rays, and Joe and I have a goal for 2023. We will finally meet each other face to face. All right. And if you guys have a podcast, a live stream show, print, something, it doesn't matter. Like social media, whatever, as long as you're promoting BMX, send it to us and we'll put it in that showcase segment and share it with the masses. Melissa, do we have a winner?
I do have a winner.
What?
Daniel Hannes was the first one in the chat, and the answer is there's 28 properties on traditional Monopoly board. So he had it right. So I asked him to send me his address. We'll get this prize pack out. Give me a little bit, but I'll get it to you eventually.
All right. It's
Thanks for playing along, everybody.
Absolutely. It is time for the most anticipated part of our show. Dave, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's birthdays. I need Chris Beer. I need you to call because Dave's on the phone, so I don't just call me right now, Chris, and then I can merge you and Dave together. And it's a live show, ladies and gentlemen. It's just good that I have enough brain cells to make this thing happen. Birthdays are brought to you. I'm going to do your intro, Chris, while you're calling. Birthdays are brought to you by On Two Wheels, which if you guys don't know, you know now. You can get your Bombshell parts from On Two Wheels, and you can go and ask Jeremy about him and I hanging out in the bathroom and doing his first interview for All Things BMX Show in the Grands in the bathroom. He's not calling, Melissa.
Chris says it keeps going to voicemail.
Does it? Shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this.
Do you want him to call me and I can hold it up?
No.
Oh.
God damn it. Live shows. They're amazing. Live shows.
More thankful.
Everyone's like, let's do a podcast show. No,
it was your idea, babe.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. Are you there, Chris?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I think Dave's still here with us, right?
I'm still on.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I can hear everybody. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but
We can.
oh, okay. Okay, cool.
I can.
All right.
All right. Are we ready for birthdays?
I'll give it a shot. All right. So birthdays are brought to you by On Two Wheels. So if you're looking for some parts at a national, you need them right away, go check out On Two Wheels. They will take care of you. Let's see. So if you're celebrating your birthday this week, we have, let's see here. Shoot, I just a second. There it is. Okay. I lost the list for a second there. All right. So birthdays this week are Jose Ramos, Dawn Robbins, Dana McCovis, Matt Shine, Troy McMurray, Jason Baird. Was that? Oh, yeah, Jason Baird, Drago Flame. I think that's an odd one. Drago Flame. Gustava Sylvia.
Good enough.
All right. I'm still stuck on the Drago Flame one. I don't know.
That's a real one. I didn't put any fake names in this week.
Okay. No, he's been pretty busy, I know. So, Michael Laws, Damian Lacombe, Matt Moberly, Bree Heath, Corey Cressell. Now, let's see, Joe Romel, Bill Johnson, Bona Marie, and Tyler Turner. So that's our birthdays this week if you're celebrating. Oh, and my nephew Bronson Butler, his birthday is today also. So happy birthday to him. Let's see here. If you want your birthday on the All Things BMX Show, email us at info@allthingsbmxshow.com and we will get you on there. Hey, real quick. Last Friday, I went to the Waterford Oaks banquet they had up there. Great time. Those guys, if you go to their Facebook page, they posted a video on there with all of the things they did all of last year, like all the improvements, things they did around the track, plus the rebuild of the track. It's a cool little video, plus it has a bunch of pictures of the riders out there and everything. So if you guys get a chance, jump over there and check out that video. It's pretty cool.
What track was that? What track was that again?
Waterford Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw a link in the chat for their Facebook page. You guys can go check it out. Other than that, hey everybody, make sure you like, subscribe to the show. Have a great week. We'll see you next week when we talk to Nick Long. Until then, God bless and have a great week.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep. See you guys later.
Oh, thanks for the jerseys too, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
You have them, Melissa?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a debut?
I will if you'd like me to.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hang on.
Hold on. We don't do a ton of stuff like this, so yeah. All right, fine. I don't know. Somebody's yelling at me about Trey or Tyler. I don't. Whatever. Go fuck off. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Yeah, Dave, I'll get you one out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, send it adult medium for my son.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Hey,
might need to pull it back
here's a cool thing. That name is actually spelled correct. I don't have an H in my name.
That's right. You know why? Because I put it on there.
And a big, just an FYI, I'd like to give a big plug to Brian Fell from Branded Pop-Up Mega Design, the guy that does the canopies. He did the design on the shirts, or jersey, sorry.
Looks good.
Yeah. Simple,
yeah.
but elite.
And
I was told that as soon as I put these
Dye Job Apparel for printing them.
Yeah, Sean at Dye Job Apparel hooked it up. I was told, I was guaranteed by Dye Job Apparel and Mega Design that as soon as I put that jersey on, I will not go any faster than I don't go right now.
Justin,
you know, they told me the same thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put those 30 pounds back on to fit in this jersey, though. I think there's gonna fit two of you in here.
Well, I like cheeseburgers, honey.
they have a little room in them. Let's put it that way, which is a good thing because you know when you need to move around and
Well, I'm also
when you're tucking down real low, coming over the.
I'm also wearing
or whatever.
the fuck are they called?
Oh, the chest protector.
Yeah.
The bodysuit.
Well, it's not with the arm things. It's just because like a couple of years ago, Melissa can tell you. Well, actually, Billy from Gate 9 will give you a better description. When I blew out my ribs in fucking Toledo, he does the best whale impression ever because
it's kind of like,
oh man, it was my birthday, Dave, and it was like it was the first time Melissa actually experienced like me getting wrecked doing BMX, and I still to this day, I don't know, like some gremlin just grabbed my front tire and turned it sideways. I went over my handlebars and went face first into the next jump. And I'm still impressed I didn't, all kidding aside, I didn't piss myself, but I was out. I mean, out. And this is, she had just bought me these gloves from, is it Sawyer? Not Sawyer, but we interviewed her in Vegas with Dave. Yeah,
Michelle
from
Antwerp.
Yes,
dude.
Like
because my hands went right into the face of the jump. These gloves got ripped, and I am out. And all I wake up to is Chris Luna's CB. Like, hey man, we get it. It's your birthday. There's no reason for you. I don't know. It was
something about a dirt nap. Like,
yeah, you don't have to take a dirt nap to shine. I mean, it was funny. It was a joke, but I get it. And I was like, where in the am I right now? Like, and then I get off the track, and I was like, I still got to race class. Yeah, because I was cruising. Yep. I was like, I got to race class. I couldn't. My shit was so broke, I couldn't tighten my shoes. But I'm like, I'm gonna roll it, and I did. But it was bad. It was bad. And then we had to load the trailer. And if anyone knows anything, Dave, about Michigan, our roads are absolute shit. So no,
they're terrible.
Oh my God, it's so bad. So Melissa's like, and most of you guys know, Melissa works for the very prestigious University of Michigan hospital. And she's like, you're going there. I'm like, I don't care where I go right now because I can barely breathe. But we have to drive down that road, or just a Michigan road. And like all I hear in my head is Billy from Gate 9. Your goddamn roads in Michigan are so bad. And like every bump we hit, man, I felt it in my back where there was 2 ribs broken in the back and 3 in the front. So now I wear the, but I don't know, whatever you want to call it, ballistic armor, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But I mean, I'm full on 45. So like, you know, I got a few more months and I'm going to 46, 50. So whatever.
Man, you're a baby.
Thank you. Man,
he's got me by 10 years.
Cool. Dave.
All right. I'm gonna hop off of here and let you guys finish up with Dave. Dave, thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you in the chat.
All right.
Later.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks, Chris. Always look forward to hearing from you each and every week and doing the birthday names. Appreciate it. I want to hand it over to our guest. Dave, please take it away. And, thanks, shout outs, however you want to close the show out.
I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's a pleasure every time we come on here. Big thanks for all the supporters out there. You know who you are. Without this journey, without you guys, we wouldn't be on this journey. I appreciate each and every one of you, former, present, past riders for me. No matter what, I will always be in your corners. There's no hard feelings, no matter what it is. I will give you a big hug and high five, and I'm proud of each and every one of you and everything you guys do out there. But just thank you guys for having me on the show and telling my story and enjoying this.
Thanks. We appreciate you taking time, especially tonight, and your patience. I know we ran a little bit long, but we were late this evening. And
we're at 2 minutes, guys.
I know. And I'd like to say this. Good night, God bless, and everyone stay classy in BMX.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
I got moto